Hey guys, it's Dave, and our topic of the day is recruiting new coaches. And a couple things sparked this. The first one was Monica yesterday filmed an outstanding video about using the third-party tools, using the introduction to Team Beachbody video. I want you guys to watch that video. Instead of rehashing that, I'm gonna let her cover that. I'm gonna focus a little bit more on process. The other thing that's happening right now is I have a Diamond Mind group going, which are the 6-week mentoring groups that I do. And we're spending a lot of time focused on this right now. And we're sort of diving into how do you recruit people to become coaches. And what I realized through this process is that I think we've done a really great job of explaining how to get a challenge group started and how to get a new coach started. But a lot of times people are missing out on the element of, okay, great, I understand how to get customers going. I understand that customers become coaches. But how do I transition those customers from customer to coach? So I want to focus a little bit on process. This is the book we've been reading. It's GoPro by Eric Worre. A really phenomenal, simple book, super easy read. You can crank through this one in a couple of days. One of the things he talks about is how to present your product or opportunity. And so let me just read you the summary from GoPro. So here's what he says. To summarize this skill set, in other words, presenting your product and or opportunity, it's important to remember a few things. Number one, when you're prospecting, you are the messenger, not the message. Get yourself out of the way and use a third-party tool. Number two, learn to tell your story in a way that will make your prospects curious to hear more. Number three, when it comes to presenting in front of a group of people, preparation is key. When you're prepared, it's fun, which is true. Here's the thing, okay? I want to walk you through the process. Okay, what does this look like? How do I approach this with my customers who end up becoming coaches? Okay, really pretty simple. I'm focused really on getting customers, okay, and getting people into challenge groups because that's where people have the greatest chance to be successful with any of our fitness programs, okay, including the Ultimate Reset. And really, I think the Ultimate Reset is one that you almost need a group for because that is such a challenge, both mentally and physically. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just help those people get great results, and then I'm observing them. Okay, so I really view that new coach training starts when people are first getting involved in your challenge groups. Okay, so they're not coaches yet. That's how I view it. They're not coaches yet, but I'm already training them on what to do. So when they're in the group, naturally, I'm looking for people and certain personalities that are going to be good coaches. What does that mean? What it means is I'm looking for people who want to help other people. Okay? That's what I'm trying to pay attention for and look for in these groups is who are the people who really want to help other people. So what does that mean? It means a lot of times they're the people who are the supportive people. They're the people who answer questions. They're the people who are engaged in the group. They do what I like to refer to as, we pick each other and dust each other off when we fall down, and we pat each other on the back when we do really good. And they participate in that process, sometimes on a technical level, sometimes on an emotional level. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that I'm noticing that those people are building into the group and that they like helping other people. That's the type of person I'm looking for to become a coach prospect. So one of the things I can do is I can show them how good they are at that, okay? By thanking them. Sorry, there's a jet going by. It's hazards of living by a Navy base. First of all, by thanking them, just reaching out one-on-one and telling them early on in the process, hey, I've noticed in the group, you're awesome. I really appreciate it. And I know the group is better for having you in it. And thanks for your time. The other thing is, if they post something, okay, and I like what they've said, instead of piggybacking on it or trying to give a more technical answer, I simply say something, great answer. What she said, okay? It's very tempting, I think, to want to be the coach or the group admin or the ruler of the group or whatever. That's not what you want to do. You need to position other people to win. And you do that by letting them grow, all right? So it's about that simple as we're going through the challenge for whatever program it is, okay? I'm looking for the people who are supporting other people, all right? Then, once I've identified these people, it's a really simple question. And the question is, have you thought about becoming a Beachbody coach? Okay? It's just that simple. I don't put more on it than that. I don't try and make a big thing or say hey, I've got something I want to talk to you about. No. Just, hey, have you ever thought about becoming a coach? I guarantee you they've thought about it. It's been so long since I've talked to somebody who goes, you know what, actually, yeah, I've never even thought about it. Sometimes I ask the questions and they say, yeah, you know what, I looked into it. I don't think it's for me. Cool, great. If you change your mind, you know where to find me. I'll be right here to support you. All right? Other times the answer is, yeah, I've looked at it. I'm kind of on the fence. Okay, great. Would you like to look at some more information about that? Other times you get an answer that is, yeah, actually, I have been thinking about it. I kind of like this whole thing. I'm super into the programs. I'm getting great results. I actually have thought about that. Okay, so the latter two answers, I'm going into, okay, either with the people who said, you know, I've kind of thought about it, but I'm a little bit on the fence. My response would be like something like, okay, great. Can I send you some more information to look at? Usually the answer is going to be, yeah, of course. Okay, with the person who says, yeah, I'm super interested, I do the same thing. Great, let me send you something to look at. That's the third-party tool that Monica is talking about. And if you're looking at this video on our YouTube page, I want you to go to FCNcoachtraining.com and I want you to look at the whole post because it's going to have this video, and it's going to have Monica's video, and then it's going to have the third-party tool that we use, which is a really simple video called The Introduction to Team Beachbody. And it's just a basic description of what this business is all about. It's not comprehensive. It's not designed to be comprehensive. The idea is that it's going to spark some questions and some conversation that you can then have with that person, okay? So that's the thing. I'm trying to figure out, are you interested in doing it? Yes. Okay, great. Let me send you some information. Now, when I send them the information, I also include a question, okay? And I almost always include a question when I finish any correspondence with a customer or a coach prospect or anybody along those lines. My question in this regard is, as you look at that, I'd like you to spend some time thinking about why you would like to become a coach. Now, sometimes they respond back and they'll give you the why they want to become a coach. Great, then you know exactly what it is because your reason for being a coach may not be their reasons for being a coach, and you need to focus on what their reasons for being a coach are, okay? Sometimes people say, well, I need the extra income. You know, I just got fired, or you know, I'm a stay-at-home mom and I need the extra income to provide for my family. A home-based business really appeals to me. Sometimes you get the people who go, you know what, I just think it's so cool to be in the fitness industry, and I've thought about it for a really long time, but I don't want to go to school to become a personal trainer, right? You're getting all these different answers. You have to pay attention to these answers, okay? Gotta pay attention. You gotta ask the questions as well, okay? So and then once I get, you know, maybe I get an answer back to that, you've got to kind of play it by ear. The next thing is, did you have a chance to look at the video that I sent you? If the answer is no, you're not ready to go to the next step, okay? If the answer is no, you're probably also not dealing with somebody who's really serious about becoming a coach, all right? And that may be because you haven't groomed them in your challenge group. Think about that, okay? If the answer is yes, next thing I want to do is get on the phone or meet face-to-face, depending on, you know, how we know each other and how the whole interaction came up. I'm sort of assuming I'm working with somebody via Facebook, which is where I have all my customers sort of put together and in one spot. And I get on the phone with them, and I'm going to go right back to the video. And I'm going to say again, so you had a chance to watch that video, right? Yes. Okay, tell me what appealed to you about the information that was in the video. I don't ask them, you know, what did you think? Or, you know, sort of unfocused questions like that. I want to know, boom, let's cut to the chase right away. What appealed to you about our business? Then I know what to focus on. Because if what appealed to them was making money, focusing on helping other people is going to be the wrong conversation for that. Even if that's my reason for being involved, that's my reason for being involved. That's not their reason. I need to focus on their reasons. And I need to be able to tie Team Beachbody into what they want, okay? So I can show you how to get what you want, whether it's money or a desire to be significant in the lives of other people, a desire to be a part of a big community that's moving forward, some need to contribute to a group or to, you know, the greater cause of ending the trend of obesity. Whatever that is, Team Beachbody's got a way to get them there. Okay, so my job is to figure out what their needs are and then take Team Beachbody and tie it into their need and not focus on stuff that they haven't talked to me about. Okay, if they haven't said, my thing is I want to lead a big team of people because that would make me feel really significant, if that's not what they're talking about, I don't need to talk about that. Okay, we can talk about that another time. I need to talk about what they want to talk about. And that's how those things go. Most of the time, when I get on the phone with people or meet them face to face, whatever it is, or sometimes it's just via chat, the questions are, they want to confirm things, mainly. That's usually what I see is people are like, okay, let me get this straight. So it's, $40 to sign up and then $15 a month, right? What's the, are there any hidden fees? What else do I need to know? They want to confirm that they understood the information correctly. And that's what it is. They've already made up their mind. They have already made their decision up, okay? The big mistake, and Monica talked about this in her video, so I'm not going to go into it, but the big mistake is thinking that the proper way to do this business is to become a very slick presenter of the information. The only time that's a really good approach is when you're trying to get a referral from someone, okay? So this is what I'm having my diamond miners do right now. I'm having them go through and do essentially business opportunity explanations to people in order to get referrals. That's what I really want them to do is say, hey, sit your mom down or your dad down or your uncle down or anybody who you think might know a lot of people and explain to them what it is that you're doing here, okay? That's a really valuable skill if you're trying to get referrals because you want your referral source to understand who we are and what we do, okay? But if what you're trying to do is recruit somebody into this business, you have got to be reliant on what? The third-party tool. The third-party tool and being able to tell your story. That's the other sort of essential thing is as you're talking to people, you need to be able to relate personal experience to them, okay? So if I'm able to tie in a personal experience that I've had to somebody else's question, that's all the better, okay? Telling your story, being able to understand how you came here, right? Why are you a coach? If their reason for being a coach is the same as your reason, you need to tell them, wow, that's exactly why I signed up. And here are some of the things that have happened for me since I've been able to do that. Now, maybe their reason for being a coach is different than your reason. If you can tell somebody else's story, that's equally effective, okay? Sometimes I know Jimmy Hayes Nelson is a good friend of mine, right? My story is one of his go-to stories. Whenever he starts talking to somebody who's a professional and really sort of unhappy with their professional life and their career, he tells them my story and says, man, I got to tell you about my friend Dave Ward, who practiced law for 10 years and he was really super miserable doing it. And then he found Beachbody. And now he's a full-time Beachbody coach earning more money doing this than he was practicing law. Jimmy doesn't need to tell his own story. He can go ahead and tell mine because my story is what's going to speak to the person he's talking to. So, and Mike Ryan talks about being a collector of stories, and I think this is so essential. If you listen to the national call every week, there is somebody different on there telling a different story. Mike is one of my go-to stories. People have an excuse of, I don't have any money. Mike was bankrupt when he started Team Beachbody. He's actually talked to the bankruptcy trustee about what Team Beachbody was because it was on his list of things when he was in the bankruptcy court. So I've collected these stories over the years and I'm able to relate them in and go, oh yeah, you know what? I know someone just like you who took this business and made it a success. Those are the things that really compel people to sign up and become coaches. And then the next step, very, very simple. Have them go to FCNcoachtraining.com, click on that get started here or start here button, get registered, go through the 7-day training, learn how to form challenge groups, and then they can start this process on their own of grooming people to become coaches and then asking them the simple question, have you thought about becoming a coach? Then being responsive to the answers that they get after showing them the third-party tool that Monica's going to talk about in the next video. All right, got more stuff coming on this. What I want to know is what you want to know. So I need to know what your questions are so that we can provide you with training that is really responsive to that. Otherwise, we're just kind of trying to guess at what you need, and we're not very good at mind reading. So please give us some feedback about what you'd like to see us talk about more. With that, I'm going to sign off before that F-18 gets overhead. All right.